Hi guys, this is Madhavan and you're watching T-Series official YouTube channel. For all the latest updates on my latest film SAALA KHADOOS, please log on to youtube.com/T-Series. SAALA KHADOOS is a story of glory between two people who have been rejected by the society. A boxing coach who has not achieved his ultimate goal in life simply because of his attitude. He's angry. He's somebody who is a non-conformist, antisocial, a kind of guy who is phenomenally talented but has no control over his mouth. And somehow he misses out on the final aspect of his life and the glory that he's capable of achieving. And how he manages to achieve that vicariously through a prodigy of his who is a fisherwoman from Chennai, and boxing being the common link between the two of them. How they actually get together and beat the odds and achieve the ultimate glory in boxing. And that's the film this is all about. I think I have the dubious distinction of doing films very few and far between, but every role in every film of mine has been slightly different from each other. Be it 3 Idiots or Thunderweds Manu or 13B or Guru, whatever. The idea is that the audiences today are so intelligent, the smartphone generation is so smart that you need to give them something that is aspirational. When I was doing Thunderweds Manu, I realized that I'd become the middle-aged man that I was portraying in that character, and my heart wasn't agreeing that is who I'd actually become in real life. So I needed to push myself into a corner, take myself to a different level, and see if I can make an impact with that. So that's the time that this robust script, SAALA KHADOOS, came to me. I was so impressed with the research and the way it was presented to me by the director Sudha that I agreed immediately to do this film more for my sake than hers. Just to help me move over to the next plane of existence in the industry. So I was ready to do whatever it took. It took 1.5 years of training, learning how to box, putting all my money where my mouth is, making the ultimate sacrifices in terms of my ego and in terms of my star status. And I'm really glad that this is the smallest price I had to pay to make this film happen. And so I'm a happy man today. I'm playing this retired boxer who is so loudmouth, and he's rude, he's a non-conformist, antisocial, he's an anti-establishmentarianism kind of a guy, and how he loses out on the glory that he's capable of because of his attitude, and how he is thrown off, an underdog from Delhi, and he has to work in Chennai for a few months, and there he finds this girl who is exactly as bitter, as loudmouthed, as a non-conformist, and as talented as he is. And he tries to achieve the ultimate glory that he missed out on through this little fisherwoman that he finds in Chennai, and the trivia that happens between the two of them before they reach the final glory that was meant for them. Ritika is an amazing talent. I think she is going to be the toast of the season, simply because she's not only an extraordinary boxer, which we already knew before we started the film. She's an extraordinary artist. She's exactly the character that we had set out to achieve with this film, and she played it with aplomb, with ease, with the grace of a seasoned actor. And I'm very convinced today that acting is not a cultivated skill but a totally inborn one, because Ritika proved it to me that we don't have to be trained in the halls of the most awesome schools around the world in terms of acting to take your debut, to make your debut with somebody like Rajkumar Hirani and me in 2 languages and hit the ball out of the park. And I assure you, ladies and gentlemen, she has hit the ball out of the park. When you see boxing and you see a pair of gloves and you see a woman wearing it, there are bound to be comparisons with Mary Kom and $1 Million Baby. But I assure you, there's nothing common or similar to any of these films. In fact, this will be one of the most unique sports films you'll see coming out of this country. I'm saying that not because I'm the producer of this film. It's because I have been there when these fights used to happen. I have been there when the girls were taking the punch. And I can guarantee you that in the last 20 minutes, there won't be one shoulder in the theater which will not be doing shadow boxing in the chairs they're sitting in, simply because of the impact of the fights are so amazing. and the involvement of the audiences will be so much that it'll be a film that will be very, very different from the ones that you've seen before. Well, you've seen the film, it's in the trailers, or you've seen the actions involved. There is a place where I'm trying to make a point, where I'm trying to tell this guy who's ruining my life. I hold on to his crotch and tell him that I should have plucked it and thrown it out the day he had ruined my life with his politics. And this story is about the kind of politics that unfortunately exists in sports today, and how the actual fighters who bring us glory always get the short end of the stick. There are many anecdotes and funny incidences on the set, but I remember when we did that scene where I had to hold the crotch, the director telling me that every time a guy sees that scene happen in the film, he's going to have a slightly short breath happening in his normal breathing. So I've actually seen during the trailer that the guys go when they see that happen, and if that is the impact, then I'm very happy that we kept that shot in the film. I think the music has contributed largely to the impact of the trailer and the curiosity the film has managed to create so far. Santosh Narayanan, the music director, is an exceptional talent from the South. He has a huge fan following of his own there, and I'm sure in Hindi too he'll make an impact. And the first song, SAALA KHADOOS, aptly describes the main lead, that is me, Adi Tomar. And his lyrics have been written so beautifully by Swanand Kirkare. In fact, all the songs are so appropriate for this film. It's amazing that Swanand got it in probably a couple of days. But it's also beautiful because they've been involved with the storytelling from the very beginning. They knew the characterizations, they knew how the song flows, they knew the purpose of the particular song. And Swanand Kirkare is no odd average talent. He's supreme, and he proved it over and over again. Santosh and him have done an exceptional job. I think this album will just be a clutter breaker, and I think the song will remain part of our lives for a long time to come. I went to the US to learn how to box for almost 7 months, and then I had braces put on my teeth to get this lisp so that it sounds like a boxer who has a problem with speech. I had also learned how to pad. We had to spend weeks in Chennai learning how to fight and choreograph the fights. So this is probably the film that I have actually invested the maximum amount of time just for the preparation before I went on to the shoot. She's an exceptional woman. First, to get a woman who would give you a subject like a boxing film is unique by itself. But then to get this woman who's actually equal to 10 men in her attitude and her tenacity and her missionary zeal is actually a boon. So it could be a boxing film, but at the end of the day, it could be a lady who's directing it, but at the end of the day, nobody will forgive you or give brownie points because it's a lady. But with this one, I think I was very, very lucky because no other man could have pulled it off the way Sudha has done it.